Today on Public Eye News, jury deliberations are underway in the Michigan governor kidnapping plot, and 6 people were killed and 12 others in a shooting in Sacramento, California early Sunday morning.
Later, Ava Sohan will have your weather, and Michael Cuddy will have your sports update. Hi, I'm Madeline Plattenberg.
And I'm Caden Minus, and this is Public Eye News. A hunting dog in Marquette was bitten by a wolf on Tuesday. The dog and another beagle were being trained by their owner near a trailhead when the attack occurred. The DNR described the wolf's behavior as normal, and a spokesperson for the DNR theorized that the dog's baying a hare attracted the wolf. The dog is expected to recover, and the wolf did not act aggressively towards the owner. The wolf is part of a well-known pack that has been in the area for more than 15 years. And jurors in Michigan started deliberations on Monday in the trial of 4 men accused of designing a plan to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Adam Fox, Barry Croft Jr., Daniel Harris, and Brandon Caserta could be found guilty of conspiracy. Fox, Croft, and Harris could also face weapon-related charges. Prosecutors said the plan had been in the making for months, with the men making a mock, quote, shoot house of the governor's home. Whitmer rarely talks in public about the plot, but has referred to surprises during her term.
Attorneys have asked to delay the trial of a man accused of killing 6 people and injuring dozens after allegedly driving his SUV through a Christmas parade in suburban Milwaukee. The judges said they need months to study more than 300 videos and recordings of the incident. Darrell Brooks Jr., the man accused, is facing more than 80 charges with connections to an incident in Waukesha in November 2021, including 6 homicide counts. The trial is scheduled to begin on October 3rd, lasting all month. However, his attorneys Anna Kess and Jeremy Perry filed a motion with Waukesha County Circuit Judge Jennifer Darrow on Friday to push the date back. And the body of a missing Middleton doctor has been located in northern Wisconsin. At Potato River Falls in Iron County, Kelsey Musgrove was a cardiothoracic surgery fellow at the University of Wisconsin School of Medicine and Public Health. Musgrove had been hiking last in contact with people on March 26th. On March 30th, word of Musgrove not returning home to Middleton was received by the Iron County Sheriff's officer. Musgrove's vehicle was found in a parking area at Potato River Falls, where a search began by air, ground, and water, with about 25 agencies assisting with the search, as reported by WNMU-TV. On Sunday, Musgrove's body was located near the falls. The sheriff's office said foul play is not suspected. The investigation is ongoing. 6 people were killed and 12 others in a shooting in Sacramento, California early Sunday morning. The violence erupted outside a strip of popular nightclubs. Police say multiple shooters are responsible and they're still at large. Molly Reel reports from Sacramento.
It's become an all too common sight. Hordes of people running from gunfire.
5 people down.
I got another one hit, another gunshot.
This latest crime scene just 2 blocks away from the steps of California's state capitol building in Sacramento. Investigators say multiple shooters opened fire as crowds were streaming out of closing bars early Sunday morning. While a motive for the shooting has not been identified, police are also reviewing this video of a large fight that broke out right before the gunfire. It's unclear if the two are connected. In the aftermath, family members and friends rushed to the scene to try and find missing loved ones. That's where the father of Devasier Turner learned his son was among the casualties.
As I understand, he walked out the club and he walked into some and got shot.
Nationwide, there have been 120 mass shootings since the start of the year. That averages out to more than 1 a day. And it's the second mass shooting in Sacramento in just 5 weeks.
It is a sickness in our culture, and we must do everything we can to heal that sickness.
Investigators have not yet said what types of weapons were used in the shooting. This is the worst mass shooting in Sacramento history. Molly Reel, CBS News, Sacramento, California.
And don't change that channel, because we'll be right back with your weather and more news.
In Zambia's Luangwa Valley, a future king was born. From one year to the next, he embarked on a journey towards greatness. Whenever he was challenged, he'd respond audacious and bold. He was on the cusp of supremacy, a formidable contender to
Wednesday night at 8 on WNMU-TV.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Ava Sahoyan here with your weather report for the day. If we take a look behind me, you can see it's a gloomy day on NMU's campus, but hopefully we'll see some sunshine soon. Looking into temperatures and conditions across the Upper Peninsula, we've got mostly cloudy skies and some occasional snow showers. Starting in beautiful Marquette, it is 36 degrees. Houghton is 39. Ironwood is also 39. Iron Mountain and Menominee are 37 degrees. Escanaba 36. Going over to Manistee, it is 36 degrees. And in Sault Ste. Marie, it is 41. Conditions in Marquette right now are a temperature of 34 degrees, overcast skies with possible snow showers, winds out of the northeast at 7 miles per hour, and a barometric pressure of 29.91 inches and falling. Later tonight, we're expecting cloudy skies, a low of 32, and winds out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we're also expecting cloudy skies, a high of 42, a low of 38, and winds out of the southeast at 10 miles per hour. Now let's look into later this week. Wednesday, we're expecting a high of 45, a low of 34, and rain showers. Thursday is a mixture of rain and snow, a high of 38 and a low of 31. Friday, we're expecting more snow, a high of 33 and a low of 29. And up next is more news.
Thank you, Ava. And the Senate panel took up debate on Monday on Ketanji Brown Jackson's nomination for the Supreme Court. The committee could deadlock 11-11, which means Democrats would have to spend additional hours on the Senate floor to push through Jackson's nomination. If the votes turn in her favor, Jackson will be the United States' third black justice and the sixth woman justice in over 200 years. And a shooting occurred at an outdoor concert in Dallas on Saturday night, leaving 1 person dead and 11 others injured. During a preliminary investigation, police say that during the concert, 1 person fired a gun into the air, then another unknown individual fired a gun in the crowd's direction. Witness told reporters that a fight broke out, then the shooting happened shortly after. Saturday's shooting happened just 2 weeks after 10 people were shot on March 19 during a spring break party at an event venue in Dallas. And condemnation of Russia is growing after it appears Russian soldiers left hundreds of civilian bodies in the streets of a city outside Kyiv, Ukraine. Some of the bodies had their hands tied behind their backs, and Deborah Alfaron has the latest as the war in Ukraine stretches into its 6th week. We warn you, some of this video is disturbing.
Ukrainian officials say they have found more than 400 civilian bodies in towns around the capital, Kyiv. Many left in the street appear to have been shot at close range, some with their hands tied behind their backs, some burned, some hastily thrown into makeshift graves. This new satellite photo shows what appears to be a mass grave near a church in the town of Bucha. In the village of Kalinivka, Irina Kostenko says Russian soldiers killed her only son, Alexei. She brought his body back to their home in a wheelbarrow to bury him in the garden. The pain is so bad, she says. He was only 27 years old. This man says Russian troops opened fire on anyone in the streets without asking any questions. The situation is coming into focus after Russian troops retreated. Now humanitarian groups are helping those left behind. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky visited Bucha Monday to see the atrocities firsthand. He says dead people have been found in barrels, basements, strangled, tortured. He again called it genocide and said it makes it hard to conduct negotiations with Russia. President Biden called Russian President Vladimir Putin a war criminal several weeks ago and now says that's clear. He did not go so far as to say what's happening in Ukraine is a genocide.
This guy is brutal, and what's happening in Bucha is outrageous. Yes, I'm going to continue to add sanctions.
But so far, sanctions have not stopped Russia's offensive, and Russia's currency has rebounded. Russia calls the video of bodies from outside of Kyiv staged and fake. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
After this break, Michael Cudahy will be back with your sports.
Here's what's new this month with Passport.
I'm a really good detective. I always get to the truth. Let's see how this plays out.
Shaped by land, but sustained by their connection to us. These are American horses.
What's happening in the Arctic could really affect everyone.
It is literally sinking.
These and all your favorite shows are available with Passport on the PBS app. Download it today.
Hi there. The NHL had some games yesterday, so let's talk about hockey. The Minnesota Wild had a tour of the Washington Capitals' defensive zone on their way to a 5-1 win, with 2 goals in the first 97 seconds, ending the game before it began. And the Florida Panthers beat the Sabres 5-3 as they ready themselves for the playoffs, and the Sabres ready themselves for the draft lottery. The Panthers are one of the best teams in the NHL right now and should be one of the Cup favorites. And the Ottawa Senators did a thing. They beat the Red Wings 5-2 with youngster Josh Norris, registering a hat trick for the Sens. The Flyers upset their rivals, the Rangers 4-3, and the Oilers went duck hunting in Anaheim, winning 6-1. And in Final Four news, the University of Connecticut beat Stanford 63-58 to face the South Carolina Gamecocks and their AP Player of the Year in the NCAA Final. South Carolina themselves beat Louisville to advance to the finals. And with the women's Final Four in Minneapolis, hometown hero Paige Beckers and her UConn Huskies team were unable to overcome the Gamecocks in the championship and fell 64-49. Aaliyah Boston, the AP Player of the Year, had 11 points in the winning effort, but played great defense and while grabbing 16 rebounds. South Carolina's leading scorer in the championship game was Destiny Henderson, who had 26 points to go along with her 4 assists. And South Carolina's coach, Dawn Staley, deserves a ton of credit for winning 2 titles in 5 years, especially this one, as CBS currently does not project any South Carolina players being drafted in the first round of the WNBA draft. And turning our heads to the other Final Four, whose championship will be held tonight, it will not feature the team I had winning it all in my bracket, Villanova, nor will it feature the man who has coached Duke basketball my entire life, and in a manner that almost ends the North Carolina Tar Heel and Duke Blue Devil rivalry. Whereas Kansas annihilated Villanova 81-65, Duke held in there, losing 81-77. The Tar Heels not only denied Coach K a victory in his final home game at Duke, but they denied him his 6th national championship. Neither team is currently expected to have a player drafted high in this year's NBA draft, but these two traditional college basketball powers have loaded rosters, as according to 24/7 Sports, North Carolina features 2 former 5-star recruits, and the 2 teams combined for 17 former 4-star recruits in this what will be an action-packed game. And Madeline, I hear you have some interesting news for us out of Germany.
Oh, it's definitely interesting. A 60-year-old man in Germany allegedly had himself vaccinated against COVID-19 dozens of times in order to sell forged vaccination cards. The cards were printed with real vaccine batch numbers for people not wanting to get vaccinated themselves. The name of the man from the eastern German city of Magdeburg is unnamed as it was unreleased in concern with German privacy rules. The suspect was not detained, but is under investigation for unauthorized issuance of vaccination cards and document forgery, as reported by the German news agency DPA. And in southeastern Utah, dinosaur tracks from 112 million years ago have been damaged by heavy machinery used to rebuild a boardwalk at the Mill Canyon Dinosaur Track site. The U.S. Bureau of Land Management reported that the damage is minor, but some footprints had fractures around the rims. The Salt Lake Tribune reported that an area where a prehistoric crocodile crossed a mud flat appeared to have been driven over multiple times by a backhoe, causing a fracture. This site is among the most important dinosaur track areas in the nation, containing tracks from at least 10 different species.
Wow, 10 different species, that's fascinating. And that's all the time we have for you today. Thank you for tuning in to Public Eye News. I'm Michael Cudahy.
And I'm Madeline Plattenberg, and we'll see you tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.